This mixing on this track was trash. Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Mfer's video feedback review, or whatever we want to call these videos. This is episode 3. You still got me, Silverwolf, and Gio rocking this thing, giving you guys reviews. And today we got Chummy for the first time. I guess we can call him Levi's replacement for this episode, at least.
Alright, cool, okay.
Chummy doesn't have a face cam either, so he's looking just like Gio. But his profile picture is a little cooler, so it's better to look at. More like a face.
Alright. Just gonna do my cloud real quick, okay.
We got a small extended episode for you guys today. We got 5 submissions to review this time. And just getting right into it, we're going to start with Jax is the Pawn. His song Over the Edge. It's an original mix, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're going to get right into it. So 3, 2, 1, play.
It's got a progressive sound too.
Yeah.
Proper side chaining.
It gives you a really nice pop vibe.
Okay, so I just heard all the track, all of it. It sounds really nice. I really like the vibe that you're trying to go for. Some things that I could say that could use a little bit more improvement would be white noise. The white noise is pretty spammed throughout the whole track, and I feel like you can do different transitions and whatnot, and that could benefit the track not sounding so repetitive in some times. Let me see here real quick. Almost something else. I could say different variations would sound very nice as well, because the first time it sounds nice, the second time sounds good, but the third and fourth time is where you're expecting something else and you just get hit with the same drop style. So a little bit more variation would be very nice. Other than that, the mixing is very nice, and the concept sounds really, really solid. I really like it. What do you think, Chummy?
So, like you said, the mixing is really great. His drum pattern, especially at the beginning, is really, the hi-hats are really crisp, and everything is exact quality it should. Mastering on this piece are really good. Typically, with this type of track, you try to get the excitement building to certain parts, and then it releases during the drop, and then you bring it down, and it goes back up again. Like Gio said, the white noise does feel a little spammed, but I think the reason we pay attention to the white noise so much is that we're not getting that excitement through different parts in the music. Typically, it's the same phrase repeated over and over again, where other EDM songs may switch up a melody or switch up the chords in certain parts to build up excitement. It sounds really good, but I think if there were a couple B sections or different groupings of chords in different places, I think it would help make the track a lot more exciting. But the melody is really cool. It's a really fun track, and since it is mixed and mastered so well, it's really fun to listen to. So I think the style of the track itself is definitely perfect. The only thing that is holding back is that it is fairly generic. Yeah.
Oh, here's my thoughts on the track. I did think that it sounded like the white noise sounded like a reverse airy descending sound. It was overly placed and used, but between the percussion, I think it kind of blended it a little bit, but the repetitiveness is an issue. The general notes and chords of the track, it did have a good progressive tonality to it, so that part I really did like. And the general atmosphere was pretty well designed. It just was kind of repeated too much. How about you, Bacon?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. This was probably like one of those perfect tracks for an EDM club. Because like, although we're talking about it's repetitive, like white noise and stuff like that, I'm just thinking about like you can hear this track playing, flashing, and people pumping their fist in the club. You know, I can kind of see that whenever I listen to this track, and in that light, I think it's perfect. I think any of the technical stuff you guys have already covered, but just as far as the aspect of when the song will be used, when the song will be played, I think it's perfect. I think it's a great EDM track. All right, I think with that, we're gonna go ahead and the next track. So our next track is Eli Fox. This is his third submission, right, guys?
Yep.
So yeah.
Thank you, Eli.
I already know what to expect. Hopefully, maybe not. Just a quick thing before we go into the track. Eli warned us that this is a complete works in progress. So, good luck, Eli, because if it's bad, I'm gonna tell you.
Bro, I'm gonna rip this piece of bread, dude.
Let's go. I'm ready for this one.
I'm excited.
All right,
Yeah.
so Reflections by Eli Fox. We'll get right into it. 3, 2, 1, play.
I don't like it. Just kidding.
It's like, damn.
Mirrors may break, but there's nothing at stake if you're blinded by the past.
Are you recording through a box?
Reflections are simple.
Yo.
Nothing original to now become steadfast. I'll seek to find charity.
Definitely has muffled sound. I'll
Found
say that.
you,
Yeah.
but I still need clarity. There's no need
I wonder
to
if that's
imitate the potter when I am the clay.
Okay.
Oh, reflections guide my soul. Perfection's lost to all the days and those sinless ways nevermore.
Dude, I'm so angry. Here's 101 reasons why the storage pile. All right, number one.
Hold on.
Number one here, real quick. All right. Once again, the track and the concept sounds great. I think it's a really experimental song you got there. It sounds very interesting to me. I like it. I like your vocals. Like always, I always say that your performance is really nice. I would say the first track for me would be the quality of where you actually recorded, because it sounds like Bacon said, like you're in a box or something like that. It sounds a little muffled in some way, like if you added some filters or something. I don't know what goes behind the scene there, what you did there, but that's something like could use a little bit more work. Also, there's a lack of impact when the drops comes in. I feel like the effects you used and other transitionals, white noise or everything that you try to use, sweeps and whatnot, like they don't sound that powerful. So when the drop comes in, it's not like the tension that you're trying to build up is really not given enough to where the drop actually releases it. You know, like it's not releasing anything because like the sweeps are not building that tension. So I feel like that part could use a little bit more polish as well. Overall, just little things like that. Mixing as well. It's a little bit unpolished, but it's a work in progress, so I understand. So those are the most important key points I can give out at the moment. Xiaomi, you said you had like 101 reasons. So go ahead.
Sure, I have
Take it from
7,
here.
but I can go into detail for them. So unfortunately, Eli, I couldn't be as critical as I hoped I got to be. But first of all, so your little guitar arpeggio ostinato thing that plays through the beginning. If you are going for like a natural sounding guitar arpeggio, typically what you want to do is you want to basically not randomize the velocity, but have certain notes in the arpeggios be louder, because not a human isn't going to play all of those eighth notes or 16th notes at the perfectly same volume. But to me, it sounds a little unnatural and robotic. If that's what you're going for, that's cool. But if you're going for a more human sound, a way that could be fixed is with changing the velocity of a few of those notes. The chorus, I don't know if it was in 9/4 time, or if one bar was in 4 time and the next bar was in 5. I don't know how that worked out, but it didn't really make sense to me why it was like that. I didn't see the purpose of it. I just thought that was interesting. Again, a vocal recording quality. It sounded almost like you're going for a kind of distorted, muffled sound, but there's like a good way to make it sound distorted and muffled. But it did not. If you're going for that, it did not sound that great. It just sounded like it was a poor recording quality. And I don't know if that was through mixing or if it was the actual recording itself. And then another thing about the 1 minute mark, I thought the vocals were pretty loud. It was pretty hard for me to pick up any other parts of the song, like the synth and the guitar. And then the good parts here, I actually really like the end. Let me see where it starts. Like the 3:30 mark is like really really cool. It's like a really dreamy sound. It reminds me a lot of like Tame Impala. The synth work is really cool. The big reverb helps the rest of that dreamy sound. I think I've heard that dreamy sound in a lot of your music. And then also the song is pretty darn original, so that's good. At least I don't listen to any artists that make a lot of music like that, and I can really hear you in the music. So that's all I have to say about that song. But yeah, nice job.
Cool. Yeah. So since you kind of did ask for 101 reasons, I'm gonna give you 4.
Almost there.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Starting with the obvious, the vocal quality seemed like it was definitely muffled, like as previously stated. Um, the the main melody sound sequentially chromatic / monotonous. Just there was no key tension points that really mixed it up, The other thing I was gonna say, that 155 dropped you. That was pretty nice, man. I love that.
Yeah.
And the percussion was definitely one of the most redeeming qualities of the track. That part I really did enjoy. What do you think, Bacon?
Okay. So with you telling us that this is a work service, I felt like it's okay to say this statement without hurting any feeling. This mixing on this track was trash. It was.
I'm gonna have to agree. There there was a. It's not absolute like trash. It's not like there's things that are like horrible, but like there are some things like that just you heard them and they clash with other parts. Like the low end was really murky,
Yeah, I
and
got you.
it didn't sound like it was on purpose.
So, I have about probably the most points out of everybody, but it's just because me and you are both vocalists, so there's a lot of things that I pay attention to in your tracks. But I'm gonna talk about you guys. So the running melody, the arpeggio that Chummy was talking about, I feel like it was loud. And I feel like just at the volume it was at, I understand it was supposed to be ground sample, I guess, rather, whatever you used for it. I think that if you would mix it down just a bit and maybe bring your drums out some more, because Silverwolf was saying that they're really great. I think it'd be really great if we could hear. But yeah, the running melody was just it was kind of loud for me personally. I just think, turn that down some and that's great. But then you have a piano like sample in the background that you can hear with the drums. It's like at the same volume as the drums, but it's kind of generic, like those FL Studio stock sounds again. which is it's not bad. It's not terrible. I'm not hating on you for it, but I feel like you could find a higher quality piano that's going to sound way better when you play those. So maybe look up some of them. Like I used to use like Key. It's a free one and it sounds great to me. Just try to look it into VSTs. I think your breakdown was well placed. Just like Sir Wolf said, I think it was in a really good place. And then I love the delay. I said I was going to get to vocals last, but you got to like delay, like you put a lot of delay on your voice at some points, and I think it was good. I'm sorry, but your vocals cut out sometimes, like your main vocals. So I would watch your limiter and make sure that the strength on it isn't too high. Like maybe turn the gain down, threshold up a bit, the release like up to like 150. That might give you some more. I don't know. Not cutting. One thing that really was ironic to me is in your song you said clarity like 6 times, but those vocals were not clear.
I gotta agree with that one. It was like, ew.
I was just thinking, I don't know what you were going for, but I think honestly, clear, just straight clear vocals, no real effects except for maybe like the limiter, obviously, a little EQ and a compressor, maybe a little, and then keep the delay how you have it. I think it'll be good. Whatever distortion or whatever other sounds we have, just need like bye bye. And then lastly, as I tell you most times, the latency with your background, they're not singing directly with you on some parts. It was like, oh, cute. And I was like, okay, I might not have to say nothing, but then they were off again. So that's the last thing I'll say. I just try to make sure they match better. If you have to turn your voice down in order to hear yourself better, that's a good idea, I think. But that's all that I have to say.
One more thing is that free piano VST is called Keyzone. So yeah. Bacon said keynote.
Yeah,
so
that's the
unless
one.
Unless you have a Mac, then
that one's not.
That won't do any good.
About that.
Nah, it's all good.
But yeah. Moving on to the next track, Delkin. Oh man, Delkin.
You know it's gonna be sick, man.
I'm so excited. We have Decaying by Delkin. Yeah, let's get straight into it. 3, 2, 1, play.
Drop than what I was expecting, but it's
yeah, good. It was still vibing, but like, I was expecting something different.
Same. The kick and clap sound on point.
Yeah.
So Decaying. All right, I really like the vibe, to be honest. Really like the vibe. This is the type of song that I really like personally. The intro was really good. It got me interested right away. Something pretty unusual and very interesting was your choice of Foley perk in the like 1 minute and 20 mark. Around there was very interesting, but it kind of got a little bit annoying. So maybe you should work a little bit more, like polish it a little bit more, like maybe add some reverb on some few, maybe some delays. We just work a little bit more on that area right there. And to be honest, I can't really say a lot. It's just a really good track overall. I really like your sample selection here. Sounds very clean. Everything sounds very nice. The bell lead kind of needs a little bit more work. There's in the drop especially, or on build up part, the bell sounds really good, but as you keep on playing and playing and playing, it kind of gets a little bit tiring. So I would suggest giving it a little bit more movement, maybe with some filters, or maybe some do a
Automate
little bit
that
different.
thing.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's just, to be honest, little details. That's all that these tracks needs. Just a little bit more love, and it's just gonna be fine. I really like the composition. What do you think about this track, Sean?
I think it's really cool. You can definitely tell Duncan knew exactly what he wanted to make it. It provokes a very certain type of nostalgia feeling track. It reminds me a lot of the song "Resonance" by Home. I don't know if any of you guys have heard it, but it's a really popular kind of synthwave track. Yeah, it's if you've heard it, I immediately when it started playing, that's what it reminded me of. Which is really cool that that Duncan was able to replicate that sort of feeling. Not a whole lot to say about it because I mean it is pretty simple. I really like the beginning. What was that at like the 10-second mark? The drop, I guess you could call it. And it's kind of just like super low key, really chill the entire time. I actually enjoyed the Foley percussion. I feel like with a little bit more like panning, it could actually be really 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 cool. I mean, good melody. Everything sounds cohesive. The mixing is pretty good. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's a solid track. So nice job.
Cool. One of the things I thought was pretty cool about the track was the kick and the clap. Those samples were very well suited for this track, I believe. The synth or the bell sounded very celestial in its ambience and stuff. The drops, both of the drops, they were a little bit different than what I was kind of typically would expect from this kind of track, but it definitely had the right kind of atmosphere for it. And it almost had like a lo-fi sound in general. It was a pretty good produced track, I believe. How about you, Bacon?
I just want to say that I hate you, Duncan. We literally could never give you any because your tracks are all good. Fair.
I know, right?
Fair.
At all.
What I will say, if you trying to collab, I started writing lyrics when that track started playing. I'm just saying.
Wow. I'm out here offended right now.
If you want to collab, actually make synthwave. So you should collab with.
Well,
Wanna collab?
for the next track, we have, I don't want to butcher this, but I think it's Gianna Alessi. It's one on it. Or, yeah, one on it, right?
No, on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just on it?
Yeah.
No, it's.
I think that's a track number. It's just on it.
I'm going to press play. 3, 2, 1.
It's interesting.
Caught me off guard.
Fading.
Restless, agitated, wanna spend your time with me. Busy lately, 2 weeks gone by since you last saw me. Got no time for movies and wine. Been on the move. Don't mean to be selfish, gotta do me first. Then I put my focus on you. From now on, taking the time for you. From now on, want you to feel understood. All in, I'm all in, giving you all of me. All in, I'm all
I'm not gonna go after the vocals that much because I'm not a vocal person. I'll let Bacon do that if he has something to talk about. I think the vocal sounded great, but the production side of things though, it just sounded so great, like amazing. I really love the instrumental, like it was just fantastic. To be honest, I have absolutely zero things to say.
Let me get ahead. I have nothing to say.
It's just a good track. It just works. It just worked.
Chummy, what you think?
Yeah, so here's 101 reasons why that track was awful. No, I mean,
Get into it, brother.
no, that my mom is a singer, and she's sung all of her life,
She hot?
which means she has sung all of my life. So I've been surrounded by really good singers all my life, and I am extremely picky when it comes to people, anyone singing for that matter. And by far my favorite part of the song was the vocal performance. Everything was super clean. There were no mistakes. Articulation of words was really clear. Melody was catchy. My second favorite part of the song was the arrangement is really good too. The pre-chorus is it's like a super comfortable place to like sit in after the verse. After the verse is over and you're in the pre-chorus, it kind of feels like you could go anywhere with the chorus. I didn't know if you're gonna go for a super exciting poppy kind of chorus or super low key, and you end up keeping it low key, but it was really good. I like the little guitar motif thing that it does. Like, I don't want to try to sing it because I'm not a singer myself, but it was really good to listen to. And then the ending was really cool, putting in a nice like C section before final chorus at the end of the song. It was really cool. And I like all the overlapping voices that remind me of like a big choir being in school again. It was really cool.
Here's what I thought. The fading was definitely like an interesting part to it. Like I wasn't expecting. I thought in general it had a pretty jazzy sound design, and the percussive choices, they were pretty well chosen. I think that one of the most outstanding parts about the song would possibly be the rhythmical pauses. They were elements that like kind of threw the listener off, but I guess it blended pretty well. And the outro guitar solo, it has like a style similar to our member Z Wolf. He's got some pretty nice tracks with some guitars in it. I think that's like a pretty similar style. What do you think, Bacon?
I have nothing to say. I'm just kidding. I wrote down some stuff, but even it was so good. My points say whoever produced this did amazing, because I don't know personally if you produced your own tracks, Tiana. So
Give him a raise.
I don't want to give false credit, so I'm just going to go ahead and say whoever produced it, kudos, bro. Like, awesome. I think all the elements vibe really well. Only point I had was that I personally feel like with your voice that you're like ignoring some element of power that you could have put out there. But even in that, it was so good. Like the hook was dope. Like that. I keep wanting to say all in, but it's on it. So actually, maybe that's one thing. The diction on the hook should probably be a little better so that I could tell that you're saying on it instead of all in. But that on it, I feel like the power in that, you could have give it was a little more. I felt like he was holding it back. Like, give it to me. All right, I'm gonna leave it like that. The shakers were nice, and that's it. It was fun.
Whoever produced this, man, give him a raise. I don't know what to
Hello,
tell you.
raise, please, raise me. Let's move on to the next track. I'm fangirling.
Straight up, dude.
The next track is Image Blues song. It says collapse. Okay, I was like, that's not a song name. But
And then there's
collapse.
also this isn't the last song. There's one song below it. If you scroll
no,
down.
no, that looks like my
Man.
face. All right, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's my type of stuff right here, man.
I
That's
like
my
it.
stuff. Gotta love ambient, man.
I'm about to cry already.
What's the word I was looking for?
I don't know if you guys have heard of this game before it came out. It's actually kind of old game. I guess it came out in 2009. It's fairly popular. It's called Minecraft.
I hate you.
Motherfucker.
This reminded me a lot of Minecraft music, which I know
But
kind of
better.
sounds it kind of sounds a little normie to say that any ambient song sounds like Minecraft music, but this one especially with the pianos remind me a lot of Minecraft music, which is a good thing. But I thought it was really cool. It was low key. It was really low key, but it was really chill. I vibed with it.
We just skipped Geo. Like
That's
I was like-
completely
I was-
fine.
I was literally about to say Geo then Soberwolf because
I was so
No one was saying anything, so I was like, no one was saying anything, so I was like, all right,
run
my
away,
chance.
No.
Go ahead, take the spotlight. Nah, but like for real, like I really enjoy ambient pieces, and this is one of them that I really just enjoyed all around. Something I would say, just being picky. To be honest, it's just a little bit of a fuck. I don't even know how to say it. There's like some collapsing frequencies in the piano when you add delay and you add like reverb in your piano. Like there's some frequencies collapsing between the notes playing there. So you should probably clean it a little bit more. That's just on the low to low mid section.
Geo,
of
your
the
ears
system.
are crazy. Like
I don't know, man.
your
Like
ears are
I
crazy,
felt a
Geo.
little bit like there's a little bit of mud in that section.
I said, this
Actually,
is Geo style, so.
I don't know.
like
man.
it's just being picky a little bit. This actually was something that shout out to Six Sided that actually teach me this stuff here real quick when he was giving me feedback on one of my tracks. But yeah, I feel like that part over there in the piano. Let me actually see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, can you point it out?
It's
Yeah,
actually
I'm so curious.
Are you talking about where the like
Yeah,
the
I actually want to hear where
35.
35. I want to re-listen to that.
There's a little bit of mud there, just a little bit though, but enough to catch my ear, I guess.
Hang on, let me hear it.
Like you can see, like in the low mid section, there's like a little bit of like interference.
I hear it.
It's like they're trying to fight for the space there a little bit.
Geo.
I kind of disagree. I think what's happening is just the reverb on the piano is really long and it's a really big space. So there's basically no way to stop other than like a just like an extra EQ that you can modulate. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's just I
Yeah,
think that's a
just
part. I
automation.
think that's like a
Automation. I would say Geo kind of. I mean, I feel like those are two of the same points personally. Like both of you guys saying that, but
Yeah, just a little bit of EQ in there in that part, but that's about it. The track is amazing. Actually,
Sure.
I'm actually gonna like it right now, and actually comment on it. Looking forward for your next work, bro. Keep up the amazing work.
I thought that the track was dramatically beautiful with its low frequencies, actually. I completely disagree. If there was a little bit of dissonance, I think it, that fighting for the spotlight actually made it even better, gave it some character, something. Sometimes that little bit of dissonance is something I personally love in my music. It sounded very desolate, despairing, and isolated. I don't know, dude. I got like so many words I'm just picturing with this environment, atmospheric and all. Like it's insane. Uh, the percussive levels, they were definitely at the right points. They weren't overbearing. They were just subtle enough to where it keeps it very interesting. Yeah, the Foley was really nice. That reverse piano, Ellen pointed that one out. Actually, got to give him credit for that one. But I kind of disagree on that. I think the frequencies were my favorite part of the low piano. What you think, Bacon?
I personally I liked how low key like the drum part was. I don't know. I used to be on this like serious vibe with Pandora. They have like a beats for studying radio. I just feel like it's something calming to listen to.
Yeah, definitely agree. Amazing composition. All around.
Man.
All right, well, that's it. That's all the chat. We got through this thing. This is probably a really long video, guys, and I'm not going to apologize for it because I feel like there was some great feedback in this. So I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. Again, shout out to Chummy for popping in and giving the feedback. Say hey, Chummy.
Hey, Chummy.
Hey, Chummy.
But yeah, you guys might be seeing him a little bit more often. Just got to work out some things with some scheduling and stuff. But hopefully you guys enjoyed his feedback. You guys enjoyed all of our feedback. And we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys check the find all the information for the artists featured in the video. And leave your comments down below reviewing their tracks just like we did throughout the video. If you want. This has been the Mfer Network.
Peace.
Peace.